Alright, we're going to have another video on the bike here. Here's the entire bike. Again, it's I think 0405 Giant NRS2, set up for road right now. Front fork is locked out, and the rear shock is pretty much pumped to full capacity. And we're going to focus on the rear shock today. Adjusting that. Two tools that you will need: measuring tape and a shock air pump tool. That same tool works on an air fork, which I don't run, but if I did, that would be the same tool. Okay, as you see here, in the rear shock itself, there's only a few adjustments. There's the AVA, which adjusts the amount of air in the shock. Crank it clockwise, more air; counterclockwise, less air. Typically, you want more air in the shock, or more air volume, I should say. That's going to give you the best ride. The other adjustment is going to be the rebound screw right here, and then you've got your Schrader valve. The rebound screw, same way, clockwise, counterclockwise. That's going to adjust how quickly the shock rebounds back in its original position. Typically, you want a medium rebound. Some folks like them soft, some like them slow. It just depends. I've tried a slow rebound, didn't like it. Fast rebound, sometimes the back end will kick up on you. So basically, to adjust this shock, it is just adjusted by sag. And you'll notice there's a little rubber ring here. You want to have that all the way in the up position. So let's say you want to know if your shock is currently set up correct for your weight. That's basically what you're doing, is setting it up for your weight. You want to measure the entire shock from end to end. This one measures in a 7 1/4. Fox has a rate chart. If you've got a 7 1/4 inch shock, you want about a ½ inch of sag. So to adjust sag, you want to sit completely on the bike, sit on the seat, have your, actually you probably want to stand more than likely, and then have your feet on both pedals. Don't just sit on it and have it on the ground, you'll never adjust it. So I'm going to pretend that I'm actually sitting on it. I'm just going to push down on it, because I've got it set really, really stiff for road running. So push down on it. There we go. And you can see that rubber ring has moved. So if this has got a ½ inch of sag, then you should be perfect. And it ultimately depends on the ride. I mean, if you're not satisfied with the ride and you've got a ½ inch, then adjust accordingly. This is just a baseline. I'm not good enough to notice, a ½ inch seems perfect for me. If I go either way, I'm just opening up a new can of worms there, so I don't even mess with it. So let's say you've got too much sag. Well, you want to add air to the shock, and to do that, you take off the cap for the Schrader valve. It's just like a tire, and then you would want to add air with your air pump. So to do that, again, it's really, really, really easy. Let's try to get the best angle here. So here's your pump. You would simply just screw it on. I'm trying to do it with one hand. It's a lot of fun. So let's set this back down. You simply just would screw it on as you would if you were pumping up a tire. Okay, so you've got the pump on, and then to pump it up, well, first you want to check your pressure. You want to find out how much pressure this shock can actually hold. And the manufacturer's website should announce that. I believe this one's 300 psi. We've got it set up to about 175. And to actually pump it up, you just pump it up like you would a normal pump. So there's the adjusting. You also have a release valve here. So once you've got it pumped up to where you think you should be, just by guessing, so pump it up to 250, what have you. Take it back off. Simply unscrew it. And also want to mention, before you actually take it off, if you want to put 200 pounds of pressure in there, crank it up to about 225, because the line, maybe not even that high, maybe 210, 215, maybe even 205, I'm not sure. The line actually obviously has pressure in as well, so whatever you pump it up to, you're going to be less than that. I think it's actually about 5 psi. So, and you'll hear the air escape when you do take it off. There, that's the pressure that's within the hose. So you don't want to put 200 in there and assume, hey, I've got 200 when you really only have 195, 190. So once you've done that, same test again, and if you've got a little bit too much, or not enough sag, I should say, too much air, you would just simply put something in there, or you can use your shock pump tool, and you can screw it on, and then you just release. And that's probably the best way. You just release to actually to let the air escape. And after that, you can fiddle with your. Don't fiddle with your AVA, really. I would just leave it maximum, because once you actually, if you do decrease the volume, you're going to totally screw up your settings. I would have that set before you actually get the shock pump on there, and then you can adjust your rebound. And that's really about it. I mean, there's not a lot. A lot of manufacturers are pretty similar to that. You know, obviously some use springs, some use air, but and you can go to Fox's website and get the recommended settings. They have actually got their chart up, which you probably, yeah, you can't really see. If you've got a 5.5 inch, you should have about a 1/4 inch of sag. If you've got 6 inch, you should have about 0.31, 6.5, 0.38, and so on. So it's really simple and easy way to tune your mountain bike, especially if it's too soft. Too stiff and right can be just as bad as too soft, but I usually prefer it to be a little on the heavier side than the lighter side. You know, you don't want to blow out your shock by not having enough air in there and blow everything else out and kill your feet. So too soft is definitely not a good thing. Anyway, if you have questions, please feel free to post. Thanks.